Hello my dear friends, welcome to another new video of our YouTube channel Lesson Sport. Today we are doing the part 4 of our PYQ discussion on the chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations. So if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends if you find this video useful. And don't forget to watch our part 1, part 2 and part 3 videos for all the PYQs on the chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations. So let's get started. So the first question is 2 ml of sodium hydroxide is added to a few pieces of granulated zinc in a test tube and then warmed. The reaction that occurs can be written in the form of balanced chemical equation as. So what you are taking? You are taking sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH you are taking. To this NaOH we are adding zinc granules. Okay, so this is the reaction of a metal with a base. Okay, so whenever a base is reacted with a metal, it will be forming salt and hydrogen gas. Okay, so one of the product which we are getting here is hydrogen gas. And the next one is salt. Whenever zinc is reacted with sodium hydroxide, we will be getting what? Sodium zincate. The salt which is formed here is sodium zincate. The formula of sodium zincate is Na2ZnO2. Okay, Na2ZnO2. So this is the reaction which is taking place whenever sodium hydroxide is reacted with the zinc. So now what we have to do? You have to balance this equation, right? So as seen here you have one sodium atom. Here you have two sodium atom. So in order to make it 2, you will be putting 2 at the front, right? So what you will get? 2 NaOH. So 2 sodium, 2 oxygen, 2 hydrogen and 1 zinc. Same way here also 2 sodium, 1 zinc, 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. So the correct option for this question is 2 NaOH plus Zn gives Na2ZnO2 plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so option B is the correct answer. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Select from the following a process in which combination reaction is involved. Okay, so combination reaction means what? Combine, right? That is 2 or more reactants will combine to form a single product. So let's see the option. Black and white photography. We know in black and white photography, that is decomposition of silver chloride or decomposition of silver bromide is used. That is decomposition of silver chloride AgCl or AgBr. When it is kept in presence of sunlight, it will be decomposing and it will be forming the product silver, plus if it is chlorine, if it is bromine, bromide gas will be produced. So this is not a combination reaction, it is a decomposition reaction. Okay, now let's see the next equation. Burning of coal. Okay, burning of coal. So in burning of coal means it is carbon, right? So when carbon is burning means oxygen will be there. So carbon will be reacting with oxygen and it will be forming what? Carbon dioxide. Okay, it will be forming carbon dioxide. Along with that, heat and light is also produced. Okay, so here you can see 2 reactants has combined and a single product is formed. So this reaction can be called as combination reaction. Now you just see the option C, burning of methane. Methane means CH4, right? So natural gas or methane or CH4 burning, that means in the presence of oxygen, it will be producing 2 products, that is carbon dioxide and water will be formed. So it cannot be regarded as a combination reaction. Last question, digestion of food. Digestion of food means carbohydrates will be broken down into simpler units, right? 2 or more more products will be formed here. So it is also not a combination reaction. So the correct option is burning of coal. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Identify the correct statement about the following reaction. So this is very important question. So the reaction which is given to us is H2S will be reacting with SO2. Okay, H2S will be reacting with SO2 and it will be forming what? H2O plus sulfur will be formed here. Okay, H2O plus sulfur will be formed. Now you just see, as I have already mentioned, what you have to do, you have to write what is the change which is taking place for the reactants when it is getting converted to product. Okay, so first we can take this reactant, that is H2S we can take. So H2S, which is the reactant, once it goes to the product, it has converted to what? H2O, right? H2S has converted to H2O. Now our second reactant is SO2. So SO2, when it is forming product, it has converted to sulfur S. So in the first reaction you can see H2S is getting converted to H2O. That is, here gaining of oxygen has taken place, right? So gaining of oxygen means we can call this reaction as oxidation reaction. Now in the second case, what is happening? SO2, sulfur dioxide, has converted to sulfur. That is, loss of oxygen is taking place, right? So it can be regarded as reduction reaction. Okay, it can be regarded as reduction reaction. So H2S is getting oxidized and SO2 is getting reduced. So whoever is getting oxidized, okay, H2S is getting oxidized. It will be acting as which agent? It will be acting as a reducing agent. Here SO2 is getting reduced, right? Whoever is getting reduced, that will be acting as an oxidizing agent. Got it? So now let's read the option. H2S is oxidizing agent and SO2 is reducing agent. This is wrong. H2S is our reducing agent because it is undergoing oxidation. So the first option is wrong. Okay. Now second option, H2S is reduced to sulfur. Okay. Here you just see H2S is reduced to sulfur. In case of H2S, what is happening? H2S has formed sulfur, right? H2S has formed sulfur. That is, removal of hydrogen is taking place here, right? Removal of hydrogen is taking place. If it is removal of hydrogen, then which reaction it is? Removal of hydrogen means it is oxidation reaction, right? So H2S is getting oxidized. It is not getting reduced. Okay, so this is also wrong. Now third question, SO2 is oxidizing agent and H2S is reducing agent. So we have seen the correct option, that is H2S is our reducing agent and SO2 is our oxidizing agent. So option C is correct. Now SO2 is oxidized to sulfur, right? No, SO2 is oxidized to sulfur. No, right? SO2 is getting converted to sulfur. So SO2 is getting reduced to sulfur. So our option D is also incorrect. So the correct option is SO2 is oxidizing agent and H2S is our reducing agent. Hope this question is clear. Let's move to the next question. Consider the following chemical equation. Okay, so you have to balance this chemical equation. So first you just count the number of atoms on each sides. Okay, so here you can see there are 2 aluminum. Here you have only 1 aluminum, right? Here you have 3 oxygen. Here you have only 1 oxygen. Here you have 1 hydrogen. Here you have what? 2 hydrogen. Here you have 1 chlorine. Here you have 3 chlorine. Okay. So first thing what you have to do is, like here you just see there is a presence of 3 hydrogen over here. Okay, there is a presence of, sorry, not 3 hydrogen, 3 oxygen over here. But here you have only 1 oxygen, right? So you have to make it 3. So how you will make? You will be putting 3 in the front, right? Okay. So what you will get? Al2O3 plus HCl gives AlCl3 plus 3H2O, okay, plus 3H2O. So 3H2O. This 3 is common for hydrogen also. So hydrogen you will be getting 6 hydrogen. But here you can see only what? Here you can see only 1 hydrogen. So you have to make it 6. How you will make? Yes, you will be putting 3 at the, sorry, 6 at the front, right? Now this 6 is common for chlorine also, right? Now you can see here 6 chlorine is there, but here you have only 3 chlorine. So you have to make it 6. 3 multiplied by 2 will give you 6, right? So you have to put 3 in the front, okay? So now you just see, sorry, not 3. You have to put 2 in the front, okay? So you have to put 2 in the front. So what you will get? 2 aluminum you will get. Here 2 aluminum is there. Then you just see here 2 into 3, that is 6Cl is here. Here also 6Cl is here. Then 3 into 2, 6 hydrogen is here. Here also 6 hydrogen is here. This 3 is common for oxygen. 3 oxygen is here. Here also 3 oxygen. So the correct value of A, B, C and D is 1, 6, 2 and 3. Okay, option A, 1, 6, 2 and 3 is the correct option. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following reaction is different from the remaining 3? Okay, which of the following reaction is different from the remaining 3? So first reaction you can see here, what is happening? This silver is going in the place of Cl and Na is coming in the place, combining with NO2. That is exchange of ions is taking place, right? So this reaction can be called as displacement reaction, right? Here you just see calcium oxide is reacting with water. We have seen this is an example of combination reaction, right? Combination reaction. Now in the third case also you just see what is happening. One of the hydrogen is going over here and potassium is coming over here, right? So it is an example of what? The exchange of ions is taking place. So this is a displacement reaction. Here also zinc is going in the place of hydrogen and hydrogen will be combining with chlorine. So here also displacement is taking place. So sorry, this is double displacement. Here also double displacement. Here also a double displacement reaction is taking place. So the odd one is the combination reaction, that is option B. Let's move to the next question. Zn plus CH3COOH gives ZnCH3COO twice plus H2. So here you can see Zn. What happens here is the Zn will be displacing hydrogen. Okay. Zn will be displacing hydrogen. So zinc is having a valency +2. Okay, that is why we have added 2 molecules of CH3COO here. So what will happen here is you have CH3COOH and you have another CH3COOH. So who will be coming? Zinc will be coming. Since zinc is having valency 2 plus 2, it has to remove 2 hydrogen atom. This 2 hydrogen atom will be removed and in the place of this zinc will be combining. Okay, so here what is happening? The zinc has displaced hydrogen from acetic acid, that is CH3COOH, right? So this is an example of displacement reaction. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. To balance the following chemical equation, the value of the coefficient x, y and z must be. You have one zinc over here and you have one zinc over here, right? Now you just put 2ZnNO3 twice, okay? 2ZnNO3 twice. Okay, so now you got 2 zinc over here. So here only one zinc is here, so you have to balance. So what you will do? You will be putting 2ZnO plus what you will be getting, plus NO2 will be there, as well as O2 will also be here, right? So now you just see 2ZnNO3 twice. Now, so here, as we have mentioned earlier already, 2 nitrogen atom is there. Along with that, this 2 is also there. So 2 plus 2, you will have 4 nitrogen atom, right? But here you can see only what? 1 nitrogen atom. So you have to make it 4. So how you will do? You will be putting 4 at the front. Now you just count the total number of atoms, okay, on the both sides. So zinc, you have 2 zinc here, you have 2 zinc here. So zinc is balanced. Now nitrogen, as we have seen, 2 nitrogen is already there, here also 2. So 2 plus 2, 4 nitrogen, here also you can see 4 nitrogen. Now you just see oxygen altogether, here 6 oxygen is there, 6, along with that 2 molecules will come. So 6 into 2, 12 you will get. Here you just see 2 oxygen is there, 2, then 4 2s are 8. Then here you can see so the next question is, which of the following is a redox reaction but not a combination reaction? Okay. So redox, so here you can see we have to tell which is not a combination reaction. So first equation. So this is a combination reaction because 2 reactants are combining and it is forming a single product. Here also you can see 2 reactants are combining and it is forming a single product. So this is also a combination. This is also a combination. Here also it is a combination reaction. So the correct answer is option D. Okay, here what is happening? Why it is called as redox reaction? Fe2O3 is there. Okay, Fe2O3 plus 3CO, carbon monoxide, is getting converted to 2Fe. So you can see this Fe2O3, when it is forming product, it is getting converted to Fe. That is, loss of oxygen is taking place, right? Here you can see CO is getting converted to CO2. That is, it has gained one oxygen. That is, gaining of oxygen. Oxidation is taking place here, right? So the correct option is option D. In all these cases, all are oxidation reactions, but first 3 are oxidation redox reaction, plus it is a combination reaction, but the last one is not a combination reaction. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Name the type of reaction in which calcium oxide reacts with water. Okay, reaction of calcium oxide with water. We have discussed it multiple times. Okay, calcium oxide reacting with water. Once it reacts with water, it will be forming what? Calcium hydroxide. That is CaOH twice, plus heat will be liberated. Okay, so calcium oxide means it is our quicklime, it is our Slakert lime. So here you can see 2 reactants are combining together and it is forming a single product which is called calcium hydroxide. Along with that, heat is liberated. So here a combination reaction, it can be categorized as a combination reaction because 2 reactants combining together and forming a single product, and also it can be categorized as an exothermic reaction because heat is liberated during this process. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move on to next question. Write one chemical equation, each for the reaction taking place. Change in color. Okay, change in color. Precipitation reaction we can write. Okay, or like copper sulfate changing its color when iron nail is dipped in it. So what happens here, the pale blue color of the copper sulfate is changing into pale green color. So iron will be displacing copper from copper sulfate solution. Change in temperature, in the last question we have already discussed, reaction of calcium oxide with water liberates heat. It is an exothermic reaction. Formation of precipitate, reaction of lead nitrate, that yellow color precipitate, or reaction of sodium sulfate with barium chloride. Okay, so in precipitation reaction what is happening, PbNO3 lead nitrate plus potassium iodide will be reacting, and we will be getting PbI2 lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. Here a yellow precipitate is formed. This yellow precipitate is due to the formation of lead iodide. Next equation is Na2SO4, reaction of sodium sulfate with barium chloride BaCl2 to form barium sulfate, which is a white colored precipitate, plus sodium chloride is formed. This is also a precipitation reaction. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move on to the next question. When magnesium ribbon is burnt in air, an ash of white color is produced. Write the chemical equation for the reaction giving the chemical name of the product, chemical name of the ash produced. State the type of chemical reaction justifying your answer. So magnesium ribbon. So magnesium ribbon we are burning magnesium ribbon. Burning means there will be presence of what? Oxygen. So magnesium ribbon will always burns with a white dazzling flame, and it will be producing a white colored ash. That white colored ash is nothing but due to the formation of magnesium oxide. So here you can see two reactants we have taken, combined together, and a single product is formed. So it can be regarded as a combination reaction. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Study the experimental setup in the diagram and write the chemical equation for the chemical reaction involved. So here what we are taking in the diagram, it is clear that we have taken copper sulfate solution. To this copper sulfate solution iron nail is dipped. Right. So what happens? Copper sulfate CuSO4 we have taken, to this iron nail is dipped. So if we keep this reaction for some time, what we can see is actually this copper sulfate is blue in color. Right. So this blue color copper sulfate fades. The color of the blue color will be fading. Okay, so what we will be getting? So this iron is highly reactive. So this iron will displace copper from copper sulfate solution. So we will be getting what? FeSO4. Ferrous sulfate we will be getting, and copper will also be formed here. Okay, so due to the formation of ferrous sulfate, a pale green color solution will be formed, and here copper is liberated. This copper will be sticking on the iron nail, has a brown coating. Okay, it will be sticking on the iron nail, has a brown coating. Okay, name and define the type of reaction. So here a highly reactive metal is displacing least reactive metal from its compound, right? So it can be regarded as a displacement reaction. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. What is a chemical reaction? Describe one activity to show that a chemical change has occurred in which change of color and change of temperature. So the second question we have already discussed. So what is a chemical reaction? Okay, chemical reaction is a process. Okay, so what is happening? Chemical reaction is a process in which two or more reactants, okay, reactants will be combining together and we will be getting a new substance which is called product. That is conversion of reactants into product under certain or suitable conditions is known as chemical reaction. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Define a decomposition reaction. How can we say that electrolysis of water, blackening or silver bromide when exposed to sunlight are decomposition reaction? Mention the type of energy involved in each case. The type of reaction in which calcium oxide is formed and calcium hydroxide is formed are opposite reaction to each other. Justify the statement with the help of chemical equation. Okay. So first, define a decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction means what? A single reactant will be decomposing and it will be producing similar products. So first, electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water means what? Water we will be taking, to this we will be passing electricity. So once we are passing electricity, we can see the formation of two gases. That is, water will be undergoing decomposition and it will produce two gases, that is hydrogen gas and the oxygen gas. Okay, so here a single reactant giving two or more similar products. So it can be regarded as a decomposition reaction. Now blackening of silver bromide. So silver bromide AgBr, when we are keeping it in the sunlight, what will happen? We will be getting a brown colored or a grey colored substance. Okay, so that grey color substance is nothing but silver. Along with that, bromine gas will be produced. So here also what you can see, a single reactant we have taken, it has undergone decomposition and two or more product is formed. So this can also be regarded as what? Decomposition reaction. Now let's move to the B part. Okay, the type of reaction in which calcium oxide is formed. Calcium oxide, how it is formed? Like formation of, in which the calcium oxide is formed and calcium hydroxide is formed. So how calcium oxide is formed? We are taking calcium carbonate. Okay, we are taking CaCO3. Calcium carbonate, we are heating this calcium carbonate. At that time it will be undergoing decomposition and it will be producing calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. Now formation of calcium hydroxide. So in calcium hydroxide formation, what we are doing? We are taking calcium oxide or quicklime, reacting it with water. That time we will be getting calcium hydroxide, which is a Steichert line. So in both the reactions, if you see, first reaction, a single reactant we have taken and two products we got. Okay, single reactant break down into two products. That is, it is a decomposition reaction. Now the second equation, you just see two reactants you have taken and one single product is formed. That is combined combination reaction. So these two examples are opposite to each other, because in case of decomposition, a single reactant is giving two or more product, but in case of combination reaction, two or more reactants we are taking and it is giving single product. Hope this question is clear to you. Let's move to the next question. Copper powder is taken in a china dish and heated over a burner. Name the product formed and state its color. So copper powder we have taken. So copper, it is brown in color. Okay. So this brown color copper, when it is heated over a burner. Okay, so it will be reacting with oxygen and it will be forming what? Black color copper oxide will be formed. Okay, black colored copper oxide will be formed. Now the second question what it is asked, write the chemical equation for the reaction that occurs when the aqueous solution of barium chloride. Okay, so we are taking barium chloride. Barium chloride equation is BaCl2. Barium chloride plus what we have taken, sodium sulfate Na2SO4. Sodium sulfate we have taken, this two will be reacting together, and what we will be getting the product, we will be getting barium sulfate has one product, and the another product is sodium chloride, that is NaCl. So here you just see, write the symbol of the ions present in the compound precipitated. So the compound or the white precipitate that we are getting is due to the formation of what? Barium sulfate. So symbol of ion, barium. Barium, it is valency is +2. So Ba2 plus and SO4 2 minus. So these are the symbol of its ions. Okay. Hope this question is clear to you. So hope this video is clear to you. So majority of the questions which has been asked from the chemical reactions and equation chapter is discussed. So if you have any doubt, feel free to ask your doubt in the comment box. And also if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends if you find it so much, everyone, for watching this video. Like this video, share it with your friends. Now in the next videos, coming videos, we will be discussing the lesson 2 of our class 10 CBSE chemistry. So stay tuned and please do subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Thank you so much, everyone.